You are now live on Channel 8 and YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you very much, TCTV. Good evening. The time is now 6:30. I'm Chairman Mike Curry, and I'd like to call the Select Board Business Meeting to order on this 11th day of October, 2023. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Julia, if you would, please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everyone. All right, before we begin, I'd like to state for the record that not only are we being streamed live on TCTV Cable Station 8 in our YouTube web platform, but this evening's recording will be available for later viewing on our YouTube channel. We and TCTV would be happy if you subscribe and hit the bell. That way you'll know anytime we're having a meeting. If there are any of our audience members who are or plan to record video, please let us know. We have a full team here tonight. Thank you very much. As always, our agenda for this evening is publicly available at the official source for town information. That is templetonma.gov. There you may sign up for alerts for all public meetings as well as our town administrator's weekly report. I would also encourage those listening who have not signed up for code red alerts to do so via our website or by calling 866-939-0911, as this is the primary method for engaging with the public for important and emergency information. Although I have the discretion as chairperson to add and remove from the agenda, it has been set to allow for time, personnel resources, and public awareness. I reserve the right to move agenda items around to best fit our guests and our business. Excluding board minutes and comments, we have about 10 items on our agenda this evening with an estimated meeting time of less than 2 hours. That does not include our executive session that we plan on having this evening. If this is your first select board meeting, we are glad that you joined us, whether here or online or in your living room. We are proud to serve the community and will address tonight's business with patience, fairness, and efficiency. And we would ask the same from our guests. Let's have a great meeting. And we've got no one on Zoom, so I'm not thinking about those instructions. We are ready to jump in. First thing we've got is approval of meeting minutes from 27th of September, 2023. Tim, I think you said you already saw something that you'd like to amend.
I did on page 1, item number 4 under citizen input, the third bullet. The plaque presented was recognizing one Templeton resident and veteran. It says 2 in the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I concur, but number 3, I just was kind of phrase it. It's a little awkward, and I could please ask for a rewrite of. It says Chair Curry presented a Purple Heart plaque presented from the run that occurred this past fall for 2 Templeton residents. I would prefer it to have a little bit more detail. So Chair Curry presented a Purple Heart plaque in honor of the veteran's name, from the run that occurs in honor of firefighter Tracy Ferraza. And then, and I don't know if we want to put the woman's name that runs the event. I need a little help with the wording, but you see, it's my preference and it's up to you guys. But there are 3 names that I think that should be included. The woman that runs the race, the gentleman that the plaque was donated in honor of. That, this is a permanent record, and I saw your passion. So, and then also Tracy Ferraza, because she was a firefighter, firefighter, paramedic. Those 3 names are.
I would agree with all of them.
So that would be on 3.
I probably would need to help out. Holly, are you taking that down? I'll help you out. Okay. Any questions? You can ask. So that's that would satisfy me.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other observations?
That is a great job. Great job, Jackson.
in the interest of 100% accuracy, Jeff Bennett's with the.
There you go, yeah.
Mhm.
That's in number one, citizen input.
Correct. Two amendments. Anything else? I'd accept the motion then. So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion to accept the minutes. In a second, any further discussion? Hearing none on the motion to approve the minutes of 9/27/23 as amended. How would you vote, Matt?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Thanks for everybody's input on that. We have no executive session minutes to approve at this time. I will open up the floor to citizen input. If I do want to add something just on guidance for citizen input. A resident emailed me and had an excellent question about citizen input, like what do we do with it? How is it tracked? You know, it seems like people will add a lot of different things and, you know, they had a question about how that's adjudicated. I very much appreciated the email and there was, it wasn't just a, shotgun blast to everybody. It was really, I want to know. So I was able to answer back, and just a kind of summation of that email is we do write down everything that, well, citizens are sometimes will come in and just, they want to be heard. They want to be upset about something. They want to tell about a great event that's happening in the community. That's the time for that. But we do get complaints and we do get questions of the community during citizen input. So I, as chair, will try and write down everything. I add it into, for the most part, if it's an actionable thing, I add it into the action item tracker. That I've still got to figure out how to make it visible. Anyone who wants a copy will grab one. I add the things if I know that they're going to take some man hours to be able to accomplish. But the real answer is they are tracked, but sometimes they don't get back to the meeting because someone might have something that's specific to them. And if I look down the table and I say, Adam, I need you to take this one, Adam may take it offline, satisfy it, and then be able to, I don't need to make that an agenda item for a citizen input and entry. But we do take them seriously. We try and I try and discern what I can actually do with the citizen input if there's action required. So having said that, if there's any citizen input, we would be more than happy to hear you tonight. Tonight, they are having some sound issues, so if people have anything to say tonight, we got to have you come up to the mic. That's why we arrange the chairs kind of like the way that they are, so that's why we asked them. Yep, sure. Hi. Good evening.
So thank you. But let's hope, but it doesn't know. So I've been noticing some things that have been happening. I'm getting the perception, and this is my perception, that there's a difference. The rules are not uniformly applied. That depending upon who you are, depends upon whether or not you fall into this rule or this rule, and there should only be one rule. And I'm going to give you the examples.
Could I, rather than making that, instead, I just want you to keep it general. Because if you start making accusations, it can get kind of difficult with that. I just want to make sure that you're thinking before you.
Oh, I
Throw out.
thought about this. Okay. Okay, so I'll start with the fact that, past few meetings, you've had, an item for, basically for review, the exact words are negotiations for non-union personnel. Okay. And a precedent has already been set in this town that not all employees who start with a contract, employment contracts, continue to have an employment contract. There are at least one, possibly two, that are above the age of 40 and fall under various equal opportunity criteria categories, right? Yeah, you have a young gentleman under the age of 40, white male, who holds a position of power that you're willing to negotiate with, but you're not on these others. You haven't addressed the other people. Hasn't been any kind of public reason or comments or anything. It could be very valid reasons. I'm just saying the perception, right, it doesn't seem equitable, right? The next thing is that town hall business, either town hall is open on a Friday or it's not. I've been told by staff that business does not take place on a Friday, yet things go out on a Friday. Is it open or is it not?
Closed.
It's closed. So why do things get published on Fridays?
I don't manage the hours. I will get back to you.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
so it's either open or it's closed, right? And to that point, that if you've got somebody in this building, when the building is closed, how do you know that person is safe? If there's a fire or something, you don't know who's in this building. So I'd like to make a recommendation that, that the board look at purchasing an electronic building access control system. So you can keep track of who is or isn't in the building. So if there is a fire on a Friday and you do have somebody in the building, you know, the fire department knows to come clear the building, or knows it's safe not to enter the building and put a firefighter at risk.
It's a fantastic.
The next thing is that you have in the workshop, an item for hiring an HR director. I haven't seen that on the agenda yet. And I'd like to know are there plans to put it on the agenda while you're in, before you really get into budget season? Because now that you've got more money in there, thanks to last week's, decision, right? Now it's time to figure out how much it would cost to actually hire a qualified individual and put that into the budget plan. So that's the next thing. Let's see, the board has conducted a hearing to hold the town resident accountable for violating the bylaw. Yet the board has also violated the bylaw and has not had any kind of conversation, any kind of, whoops, we screwed up, sorry, nothing. There's a $300 fine related to it. And the last thing.
If you have a complaint, you can issue it to the town.
To whom? To you?
Town administrator, depends on the authority. According to the bylaw, you actually will say who the authority is for it.
Jeff
But
Bennett, sorry. Jeff Bennett already filed that complaint.
he formally,
I,
we have it.
he stated it in public meeting.
I would, I would want it in writing. I mean, if I can, I want to, but I wanted to address quickly, a lot of times during citizen input, if I can knock it right down and say, where we go from here, I'll do that. So I wasn't aware of a formal complaint made where there would be a violation of the bylaw, so, okay. Might be probably watching, and I would expect something in email.
All right,
Something.
and the last thing on this is
I
that,
took down the note, thank you.
Okay. And then the last thing is basically the residents are held to a higher standard than the staff is concerning dates. And
Could you say that?
town residents are held to a higher standard concerning dates than the select board staff. And that this is just my fourth example of where there are inconsistencies in how rules are applied. I'm just asking for consistency.
Specifically, the select board staff.
Yes, specific. Okay. And, yeah,
If you care to share any more details, you can email me direct with details, but I don't have anything to go on with something.
and then the one other thing that's not related to all this is that, I had filed a public records request for a pen and ink paper record. The response, part of the response I got, which the entire board has already copied on, was select board members should not be on their personal phone texting or sharing notes with each other, etc., during the select board meetings, as those would become a public record.
I'm
I
sorry,
read-
is this under appeal? Is your public records request under appeal?
Yes,
Okay, yeah. If it's under appeal, I really don't have anything
no,
other than just notifying us that it's under appeal.
my question,
Okay,
okay, is I would like an explanation of what that really means, because my impression of what it means, if I have to wait until the appeals final, that's fine, I'll come back to the board at that point. But I don't know why somebody would give me a response for an electronic record when I'm asking for a pen and ink record. And I'd really like to understand what that really means, because my interpretation cannot be correct. So I just want to know what the intent of that statement is. But, okay.
Thank you. Any other citizen input? Speaking as Bob or DPW? All right,
I just want to inform the residents and the public that on Friday, 10/13, Highland Ave will be paved with its final coat of pavement. We'll get the buses and emergency vehicles through. There might be some delays, but have a little patience and be done soon.
you anticipate a code red going out for that?
Yeah, I'm gonna put one out tomorrow night.
Great, thank you, Bob.
Nice job, Bob.
Appreciate it. Any other citizen input? Yep, hearing none, we're gonna jump into new business. First item, looks like we do not have any introductions of new employees. Item B, appointments, Jamie Brewer for the Conservation Commission.
Mr. Chair, I move to appoint Jamie Brewer to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term expiring on 6/30/2026. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. And a third. You gotta be fast. Bob got it. Anything else? Jamie Brewer for Conservation Commission, 3-year term. Hearing nothing on that motion for Jamie Brewer, how would you vote, Matt?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes,
Julie?
yes,
Tim?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, she's been impressive.
That is, that's a big win for the town.
It is.
It's
Thank you.
it's really good.
Thank you, Jamie.
Okay, we have two presentations, C and D quarterly reports, FY 24 Q1 public safety, and also quarterly reports from public services. I don't see anyone from public safety in the room tonight. So if of the reports that are submitted in the packet, if you had any questions that either Mr. Lamontagne would be able to answer, or if you have questions that we could forward based on these reports, I would ask you to do that. You can send your questions direct to Adam. Or if you want them to go direct to you or direct to the department at CCU. Okay, right to the department head, CC.
Okay.
And anyone want to say anything about the public safety Q1 observations?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd just like to commend the fact that it's very organized in East Templeton. I happen to be a resident very close to the new construction that just recently started up, and notifications about not having water for a certain amount of time or for a certain day have always been like a week in advance. You know, there hasn't been too many surprises and it's been pretty safe over there. So for that, I just appreciate the construction men that are out there and police officers that are keeping everybody, you know, pretty much until it doesn't seem like it's as bad as people had anticipated it might be, at least not at this time of the game, I guess.
Also to commend the fire department, I listened to the whole 911 call for when the Otter River Hotel went down.
Like an hour after our last meeting.
Mm,
I was. Tim had tried to call and I was. So that was an unfortunate news.
And thanks to Mr. Toth for going out.
Yes.
I wanted to go too. And CERT was deployed.
Yep.
Sorry to Matt, the executive.
Being a rebuild.
I don't know.
Well, it's a benefit. I think I saw something about a benefit, but I don't have all the information right in front of me tonight, so I could probably bring it to the next.
Great.
Thanks to
I think they're
ARPA.
having something local. Do you know? At the PACC in Gardner, but I'm not sure of the date. Is it this weekend already?
Wow.
Yeah, I happened to see it on a Facebook thing or something that people had been sharing it. So I think they're trying to do a benefit to assist with getting it back up.
I'm just gonna say, from what I've seen online, it does seem like he is going to build.
That's great.
It does
Yeah,
look like
that's,
he is-
that's
It does look like he
sort of the
sounds like
impression
what-
I
yeah.
get. Yeah,
that he is gonna rebuild.
that's great.
Thank you to the surrounding towns that came in. Not exactly 100% accurate on them all. I don't know. Kim can fill us in on that. It's Athol, Gardner.
Any other observations in public? safety?
I want to say thank you to Chief Bennett for following through with and listening to the residents on getting the speed limit reduction on the warrant. Remember the Brook Village community came in, Brook Village Road came in and
Step one.
asked, and he said he would follow through with that, and it's on the warrant. And I think it's going to benefit people throughout the town.
Appreciate Rich telling us how his laptop died. That was. He's watching going, what is he reading that? Emergency management has been extremely busy, so. What? Oh, you can give the plug.
Go online, look up Survey Monkey. Holly's got it up on the webpage. Take the survey for hazard mitigation. It's only happens once every 5 or 6 years. We're behind the 8 ball now, and I'd like to see Templeton. You don't have to be a Templeton resident, but I'd like to see Jeff and Ryan, who are representing MRPC. I'd like to see them blown away by the responses of residents filling out surveys on a Survey Monkey. So let's give a good show of participation on that, please.
We're all set for public safety. Any questions, just send them to the department head to see Adam. Hi, Bob.
Good evening, Lord.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
First quarter report for FY 24 for the highway. It's still very short-handed with help. Been a rough summer. There's a lot more I wanted to do, but we're just pretty much just putting out fires and day-to-day stuff and working with the pavement plan for this year. They do expect a couple of employees back within 2 to 3 weeks, so.
First, just regarding, just regarding the pavement plan, are you confident you're gonna be able to get that done before the winter, or is any of that gonna carry over into spring?
I plan for FY 24 will be covered before winter.
Okay.
There's 3 roads and one of them being done Friday.
Okay, and the other 2 are,
Shore Drive and out of South Main over by Red.
done already, or?
The base road.
Okay.
We still have plenty of beaver activity in town. We're checking them about 3 times a week. It slowed down a little bit, but it was busy for most of the summer.
You have known sites that you check.
I'm sorry.
You have known sites, like you know pretty much where you need to go check.
Yeah,
Call
we have a
lots.
couple of spots on Royalston Road, Henshaw, Stony Bridge, Brooks Village. Whitney Road. So those checked on a regular basis. Crews have been repairing multiple areas with washouts through the heavy rains over the summer, as well as opening and repairing them if needed. Maintaining multiple culverts. They also trying to repair as many potholes as possible. Like I said, the summer's gonna a wet season, so put it down a lot of stuff. The crews at work Worked on sweeping the sidewalks and a few roads, but again, limited staff. We'll probably get about 25% maybe of the sweeping done, so. Which affects the, endless flow report, they like to see those numbers. As well as catch basin. We've been replacing multiple street signs as part of the ongoing project for street sign replacement in stages. I have another order in which we'll be working on, so they get some help. That's, we're been changing some speed signs that are faded, that knocked over passing zones and stop signs. I had several crew members, posted a fucking truck class through Mass Bay State. Oh, that's for teaching fire. And most of our guys that I had in surrounding towns, they had a good turnout. They will get certified for fucking truck.
Nice.
Crack sealing was done on Ballinville Road. Who's assisted with that as well as the PD. We did a lot of prep and cleanup on Highland Ave Shore Drive and South Main for the paving plan. Next week, they're gonna come out and do a little more crack sealing on Patrick Hill and finish the day out, maybe on Old Winchell and another little one maybe today. Who's assisted prep and cleanup on Highland Ave. We also did a lot of driveway cuts. There were 5 driveway inspections. That quarter, 1 road cut permit, 1 trench permit, and a return on the road cut. Highway 7.
I just have one for you. Have we heard anything yet on RAP funding for additional
I have not.
chapter 90 monies?
I heard it was gonna be similar to the RAP. I haven't got it.
Yeah, that's it. I've been watching it as well. I know the governor has additional funds that are released,
Yeah.
but they're trickling out slowly.
Yeah, it's not that will be used till next year and
Hopeful.
at least we'll be able to get another load or 2 ground.
Yep.
On buildings and grounds, crews that continue working, mowing, weed whacking. All cemeteries and town buildings have been a busy summer with the wet season. Room the softball fields, baseball and field and walking path at Gilman. We purchased a small rotor going back to the tractor, which works real nice. As far as turning over a few inches and grading it out. They installed multiple foundations and stones, flat markers, installed some of the flat markers as well. Did some water line repairs in both cemeteries. We upgraded the water pits where the meters are with an actual water pit containment. It should be easier for access to turn on and off the water. Building grounds also sit the highway department on several projects. With them in the excavator, doing some swell work, some cleanup. Move multiple items at the senior center and town hall. There were 6 interments, 3 lot sales, 7 foundations, 3 lots for redo. We had a couple of part-time seasons. Down to 1 part-time. Leaf season. Gonna have plenty of leaves to clean up.
Chairman,
Yep, absolutely.
a quick question, Bob. Can you tell us how we can help to support your department in the future as far as manpower? I feel like you've always been the one department that struggles with that, whether it be, positions are out with illness or
Yeah, well,
just whatnot. Like, do you have enough positions in your department to be successful and keep our roads safe? There's a
It's
lot of
fine.
construction going on.
My stance is no, I can't
Okay.
predict an injury or how long. It's,
Right, it's
um,
hard.
If I had everybody back that I normally have, we could use one on highway from 2014. And I don't know if I'll ever be here this day, but I'd like to see two guys as a tree crew. There's enough trees out there year round work.
Mhm.
Keep them busy, and pruning, cutting, replanting.
Wow, the old trees in our town.
Well, and building and ground, I'd like to see a full-time person.
Well, yeah, they're doing moving. I see it in weekly reports all the time. They're at the senior center, they're in this building
Yeah.
all the time.
Normally two guys,
That's not a lot of guy manpower.
no, in the town, and we keep adding on more, we expect to build on ground. Or
Yeah, that's ridiculous with two bodies. Yeah.
we don't have the time or the crew to do it.
So you feel like that department would benefit from one or two more employees and yours as well, even if you had a full crew on current.
Yeah,
You
I
would like it to see another employee in the,
Yeah,
in the
I'd
highway
rather see a tree crew instead of one person on one.
a tree crew of
Yeah.
like two people.
Beneficial to the town.
That's great. Thank you for your input. I appreciate that.
Bob, I just have one, maybe two things to add. So yesterday, Graceland and I went to Building a Resilient Commonwealth, a statewide conference for municipal officials and staff. And one takeaway is Massachusetts Federal Funds Partnership for Local Government. Join the monthly meeting at Massachusetts Federal Funds Partnership hosted by the Federal Funds and Infrastructure Office to provide municipal and tribal leaders with updates and answer questions on upcoming federal funding opportunities. The first one is kicking off with Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll on Wednesday, October 25th from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. I gave Maddie a copy because they mentioned Chapter 90 monies working with the school. So improving infrastructure around the school. I don't know what every meeting's going to be, but it's something that if any of us want to start attending or ask questions, like you could ask questions about what's going on with your RAP and everything. And they did say 400 million mass worth.
The new, monies, it's not gonna be called RAP, I don't believe it's called something else.
Yeah, I tried to write down all these notes before they were just,
You should have the money around the schools, but I think we need to focus on our town roads and sidewalks, and everybody's.
Amen.
so, I mean, this is just one of the things that they were handing out for.
Sounds interesting, I'm already booked on the 25th.
Yeah,
Take good notes.
I know, right? I tried, oh my God, there was so much about money, it was 150 million for transportation and related grants, there's just so much going on.
Money's fantastic. We need the bodies.
I'm green in there, so,
I get a lot of that stuff and I find it interesting how I usually forward it to Grace or touch base with her, so. You get the in and outs of what's out there.
she did great.
Any other questions for Bob? Bob, thank you very much.
Okay.
That concludes our quarterly reports. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry, I was looking at the top level, I'm sorry.
Duty.
I didn't,
Well,
we don't have it.
yeah, we don't, I want to apologize. I was told yesterday at 1:50, I got an email and it said, where's your report? And I said, what report? I don't know what you're talking about. So I did some research and I found out from somebody that it was this. So I didn't know, so I threw it together, so as best as I could yesterday, because I had to do other things that I volunteered for.
Well,
Okay,
I'm sure we'll do.
I
everything.
did the best I can.
Okay,
I
thank
just
you.
feel like I'm not doing it justice for the people that have volunteered for us. To for a proper
You're
report.
here right now, which is great, so thank you.
Okay, so in July, Parks and Rec, we held our Red Cross swimming lessons. And our instructor, director, Hunter Miriam, was back again this year. And we added, she always volunteered, but his sister Kylie Miriam became our new assistant coordinator, instructor. She stepped forward. We got her certified with WSI. CPR and the AED. She did a wonderful job. They both did. The program was wonderful. We had about 76 students in total in the program. It wrapped up the second week of August to a great success. We had a little pizza party for the volunteers. We had all the students learned so much, and many of them received this the Red Cross swim certification for the level of success they completed. We had Finn, who's a wonderful volunteer, and how do you say Hallie?
Hallie.
Yeah, Hallie, she did a great job. She volunteered the year before and she's come a long way. So it was just it was a great time. The kids learned a lot, and a lot of safety went on too, because we had some rain dates, so they learned a lot of safety lessons, not just, swimming too. So I thought this year's swim lesson
year.
was wonderful.
Nice year. Feel a little. Candy drove Kylie all the way to Worcester to get her certified, so that program could go on. So parents couldn't do it in the morning, which doesn't feel like, so Candy made sure that this program got off free for our citizens on her own time, on her own dime. And I just feel she deserves a lot of respect as commissioner, and to be treated with more dignity on the day-to-day, and that people don't understand, and to keep in mind how much she has a plan to get this off the ground and done right, so that future commissioners come in and they have it easy. And right now she's making it easy for all the volunteers, because she looks at them as human beings with stress and difficult lives, but she wants to make it fun and exciting so that they want to volunteer and continue and to help out and enjoy community.
I
I appreciate it very much.
I do talk to the community, and I ask them what they want. What do you want for your park and rec department? How do you want your park and rec department? What do you like about it? And I want to know what you don't like about it, and don't offend me, because you won't. And I would like, my board will want to know, because we want to make it the way you want it. It's yours. And it's not mine, it's everybody's that lives in this county. And even other people from other communities come and they participate in these programs. We want to hear from them. And we try to put our the commissioners have done a great job. I take that to them, and they really take it to heart on trying to apply what they learned from it. And I'm out there in the concession stand and all the day-to-days, with everybody, trying to make it, like you said, I do try to make it easy. People do work, and I mean, I have, we went into soccer season at the end of, August and into, September, and, we have 24 teams, and I can't tell you that, like I said, I did this last minute. There's over, 200, participants. I would say, I thought it was like 150, 160, but I don't want to say a number because I didn't get a chance to look it up. But it's a great amount of people. They come in, they come out at different times. Kayla, our instructor, our coordinator. She is wonderful. She lines the field every Saturday. She comes out there. We have wonderful referees. They come in and do their job. We get hired by the town. I make them understand that they work for the town. They're part of the town staff. They're 14, one is 14 years old, and he literally turned 14 years old a few weeks ago. And he was so excited because he said, "Can I get hired?" And I said, "Well," and I thought about it, and I asked Kayla, and Kayla goes, "If he does this little online training that he did," she goes, "he has a lot of experience, and for his age," and she said he could do it. I said, "Well, it's a little last minute, but I could use an extra, in case somebody gets sick or something." So Avery did a wonderful job and he's been doing a wonderful job for us. But we're very blessed, and we have 24 coaches, and we have assistants to go with it for soccer this season. And we're just very blessed in this community to have the ability of the people that have come forward to make these programs what they are. Without those volunteers, and I want to make sure that when you volunteer, I find that,
I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
I just want, we're.
okay,
looks like
Porter,
You got a
yeah.
couple pages.
Okay, so, yeah, it's not that long, so.
Yeah.
So then, so after that, we had the National Play Outside Day. And then we did with that, we had the the games, and we did the first ever, craft, we brought the craft fair back because people wanted the craft fair. So we tried that, and we got a lot of input with the craft fair where folks are telling us they're excited for next year. They've given us some insights. So we're listening to people who've done the craft fair before. So we got a lot of insight, and I thought it was a great success, because a great success is when people are happy and they tell you that they want to see it again. And that's what we got. We had the movie that night. Everybody enjoyed the film that we showed. And we had a lot of crafters, and we had games of the basketball, and a lot of stuff that went on. And we had a lot of people that helped out to make that happen. We also, we added, a play group with, Katie McClure. She stepped up as a volunteer to try something for us. She did like, almost like a trial program, and she did, 5 weeks. It was once a week for 5 weeks. Tried to bring play group back. We got a lot of insight for that. So she's all geared up to do a nice program for us next year, because we didn't want to just throw it out there. We wanted to understand what they did in the past and try to bring some of that back. So Katie has volunteered her time in our community to coordinate that effort for us this year. And she is looking forward to be our director come in the summer this year and do a play group for us. So that was ages 5 to 12. And then like I said, we went into the soccer season. Oh yes, and just go back to National Play Outside Day. The bathrooms are done. People got to see it for the first time. And every time someone came out, they said under their breath, how lovely it was.
How lovely.
Yeah, they were like, you couldn't imagine, a little one, a grown adult, a man, anybody, under their breath, and I would laugh because I would hear it in the concession stand, and you hear flush, and then you hear the door open, and you go, that's. And I'm like, this is a bathroom, but it's funny because everybody had that experience. They really, really enjoy us having a bathroom in Gilman Ways. So yeah, it's been successful, and everybody loves it. So yeah, soccer is started. We also added a new program. These are, it's fall softball. We've never done fall softball. The coordinators from our spring stepped forward. They are doing it free of service to try it as a trial. That's another trial program. They wanted to try it, and we listened to them, and all the coaches wanted to try it. And we, the board, the commissioners voted and said, why not? Let's give them a shot. They want to do this. It didn't take away from our soccer program. It happens on Sundays, the soccer's on Saturdays, and we have about 74 players, and everybody seems to really enjoy having fall ball at the parks. We had also added and hired our new concession stand manager, Joe Sanders. He's been doing a wonderful job. The town, the community is really enjoying having a professional type person run the concession stand. I mean, he's got a long things, obstacles because of the stand, has some more work to do. But he's doing a great job. They love everything that he's doing. I've been working side by side with him. Because he's still trying to figure, the community, getting more volunteers that will take, this is a building process, and then in the spring, hopefully he'll have a better base of volunteers and stuff. But he really needs some folks to come out and help out and volunteer. But Joe's been doing a wonderful job, and we're very, very fortunate to have him as our staff for our town. We just did the fall movie, and about Monsters Inc. In the park. We had a few obstacles for that event. But though it was a success, and the families had a good job. And the kids ran around with their free little glow sticks and had a ball. But full disclosure, the first company that we hired, the first group of people, we had a sound issue, so we got the professional truck broke down. So we have plan C. We had a backup screen and some screens and stuff. So we made it all work, and we worked along with the Lions Club to get a wonderful movie. And so many people in the community that night came up, like they helped us set up the equipment, and even Selectman, she held, because it was blowing, and she held it up in the back at one point. So it was wonderful to see the community come together to successfully have a movie for the children and for themselves. And it was just a wonderful to see everybody to have, and everybody said it. Some people thought it was supposed to be like that. They didn't even know that wasn't the original equipment. So that's how good everybody did. And so Our town should be proud of themselves. We have some wonderful people. Yeah, and that's it. That's the best I could.
That was good.
That was very good.
Any questions for Candace?
I just have one comment.
Yeah.
You said you hired a 14-year-old.
Well, he's legal. He's got one of those work permits. Yeah,
That's what I was
yeah,
gonna
he's
ask.
got a work-
Since it's a
Yes,
town
he
entity,
has a
make-
work permit. Yes, he had to go.
make sure we're
he had to
doing
go
it.
to the office and they Go through all the, yes,
Yep.
he's legal. He has a work permit. Yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm
It's
meeting with-
easily overlooked. I
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure.
we hire 14 and, 16-year-olds, they have to get a work permit. It's a little bit of a task for them. But, a lot of the parents have been very helpful and, it's something that you have to do with the law, but yes, we follow the laws in this town.
Chair, 30-second plug, or maybe 15. Energy and Environmental Affairs Secretary Rebecca Tepper today announced, not today, but announced the appointment of Paul Yanig as the first director of the Massachusetts Office of Outdoor Recreation, MOOR. The EEA established the office in December 2022 to elevate and enhance outdoor recreational opportunities throughout Massachusetts and the associated benefits to our economy, health, environment, and quality of life. So I just figured I'd share how important rec is in today's standards, today's need after COVID. Came down.
I'm sorry, I can add anything? Good. Thanks, Candace.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Polly, if you could just reference that she read from the report, so just make sure it says that in the minutes. Well, I'm gonna just reference that she read from the report. No. No. If they're used during the, we've gone through this before, so if you know, when you see at the end of the minutes.
Yeah.
The documents used.
Yeah.
Yep. But we'll get better about when things are published or otherwise. Well, I will definitely,
Yesterday, right out, I worked on it. So then I came forward. I did forward.
yesterday would have been too late, so if you were informed, yeah, usually the week before is when they finalize it. But I'll, if there's any difficulty, I can help.
Well, now that I.
And
have-
any-
okay, well, next quarter, but I
Got it.
do have an assistant now. I'm training her this week, so.
I know, I remember I added her hours.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on in our agenda. Sue, I think you're up next. Yep. Okay, this is a town property use permit. I think I even asked last time about the pumpkins. How long have you been doing Halloween?
Halloween,
Many years.
I want to say, well, Francine Brax, that she came when she was a little girl.
Oh.
And
amazing.
she's my daughter's age.
A lot of vibrant community things going on. So that's really awesome. So they do. You guys do too. So we've got your application.
And there will be no alcohol, again, that I can't get that to uncheck without everything unchecking. There won't be any
Just
alcohol.
amending the form.
Well, I can't say that participants might not,
Yeah.
we have no control over that.
You could put it in, is there a comment section? You could even say that, like, that way, if you weren't here and your form stood by itself, we would see that.
At the bottom of the
Understand.
events, I say, kids will come, view our Halloween decorations, get bag candy, some parents will come as well,
Oh,
and
yep.
serve cider and donuts, and I could put there, no alcohol.
Right.
We'll do that.
It says Jello shots on mine.
Yeah,
No.
I'm kidding. So, sorry.
hard cider. Hard cider donuts.
No, we get good cider from Peas,
Absolutely.
Oh, very nice.
Fantastic.
donuts from
Thank you,
Dunkin'
Dave.
Donuts.
Holly, any
And
issues?
Good
The
plug for
only
peas.
question I want to be sure on is the town has always done Halloween on the 31st, that's still, it's a Tuesday this year.
That's a good question. I don't think has the police department usually will make an announcement. I haven't heard it yet. Right.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
That's- but I've always known it to be.
let's make that an assumption for the approval, but it will be, we can, whatever motion you can
We
be
follow-
contingent on when
follow
Halloween actually is.
Right, we follow after the parade, so.
Got it. Okay.
the third
That's a good
there.
point.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I move to approve town property use, the Templeton Lions Club Hog with Halloween, contingent on the police department setting the date for trick or treating. And waive the fees as it's a town event.
Motion,
Second,
and I have a second. Any further discussion or questions for Sue?
Do we know when the fees, do we know when the police will determine what?
I don't know. Yeah, I know Mike's out. Mike's out right now, right? Chief Bennett is out. Yeah. So. Never not been on Halloween. Yeah, it's usually the hours, I think, of the issue to make sure that they're setting the hours. Okay,
4 to 7. That's what we do, 4 to 7.
okay.
Yeah, you do the 4 to 7, and I think the actual trick or treat is always been like 5 to 7.
Yeah,
I see, I remember seeing it as a Facebook post prior to the event. Yeah,
I'm sure we can reach
Always
out to the
looking at it.
chief and
I
check.
think you're
and
gonna
try
be
to get
fine.
that out
but You're
ASAP.
covered from.
Correct?
great.
Any further questions for Sue? Hearing none on the motion to approve the town property use permit for the Templeton Lions Club haunted Halloween. How would you vote? Matt,
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. No rain, dude.
No rain, I know. We do rain or shine. Could I just add one plug? And I probably should have brought it up at the citizen input. I didn't think of it. We're having a food drive to the food pantry on October the 19th. It's gonna be at the St. Martin's Church parking lot. So it'll be a drive-through, bring non-perishable items. And that's a Saturday, and it's running from 8 AM to 12 noon. And it's on Facebook. I just put it up on Facebook, and I just sent it to Steve. Up on Channel 8.
Awesome.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, what was the date on that again?
October 21st.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm sorry, October 19th,
Which is
No,
a
no, no.
Thursday.
October 21st.
Okay, thank you.
October
October
21st,
21st, sorry.
Which is
Saturday.
The 19th, we have a business meeting.
Okay,
St.
Much
Martin.
going on.
there you go.
So,
How do I relate?
food drive, Lions Club at St. Martin. Drive-through 8 to 12, October 21st.
Correct.
Non-perishable items. And if you do want to make a donation for perishable items, they could probably make it at that time.
Yep.
Yep. Because I know they need milk and things like that as well. Great. All right. Thanks. So we did take the vote. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
You.
Joe, you're up.
Stop the
Um,
hat.
I'm gonna let you go first, but I'm also gonna pull up the map, like the street view. Cause I didn't get a sense for where it was, but if I figure if we pull up the street view, you'd be able to point out right where it is. Okay,
That's fine.
all right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is my first time here, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna be doing here, but here we go. I represent, American Legion, Baldwinville, post 373. I'm also in charge of our honor guard and very proud of it. We have been together now for going on 3 years. We, volunteer our services every Tuesday when needed at the Veterans Cemetery in Winchton. We also do ceremony across the street from the Legion on Memorial Day and also on Veterans Day. What I would like to ask the board if they give us permission, I've already talked to the highway department and he said yes, but he said I have to come in front of the board. We would like to put a slab, concrete across the street in between the two bushes, which are the two monuments that are there. Because right now, as you know, we're not spring chickens anymore, so it's kind of hard to stand on an angle the way it is. And we're there anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes just standing there. So it gets pretty hard on the guys and myself. What we'd like to do is put a slab in 30 feet long, 2 feet wide, at least anywhere between 3 to 4 inches thick. In front of that, we will put pavers so that it dresses it up very neatly. And the pavers, we're gonna see if anybody wants to put a name of a veteran that has been deceased. So it really looks presentable to the town and it gives some of the folks something to really be proud of. I know that we're gonna have to dig in, so the backside will also have pavers on. What I'd like to ask the board if we have permission to do that. We have the knowledge at the Legion to go up and do it. We have, a number of guys in there that know how to do all this stuff, including myself. I've done it for many years. So if the board will, give us that permission, we'll get the ball rolling and get it done. And we're trying to get it done before Veterans Day. I don't know if that's gonna happen, especially the way the weather's going. We don't know when it's gonna rain anymore, or snow.
Yeah.
So,
Quiet.
I'd like to know if the board will accept that. Okay, looking at what we are right now. If you look at the monument on the right-hand side,
This one?
no, come down to the big one. Yep,
Okay.
and from that bush to the bush across from it, go straight across, keep going. Up, keep going more, straight across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. You don't mind?
Right to left. Mike. Not the right of
Oh,
the monument,
the other
but the right,
All right.
right to left like you're
Back that way. Please, if you don't mind.
on the other side of the
I know
monument.
it's got to catch up on them.
Yeah.
There we go.
So there we go.
It would be, it would be from this point here to this point here, roughly 30 feet, so that we're all still standing directly in front of the crowd that's down below us and in front of the lake. And that's what it would be, and in between, like I said, 30 feet long, 2 feet wide. That's all we want to make it. Just something that's gonna be flat, so that we'll be able to stand flat. And that's pretty much it.
Bob, anything?
Joe, are you planning on removing the bushes?
No, the only thing we're gonna, because the ground right there, we have enough space in between there to do that without disturbing any of the bushes or any of the monuments.
Only other thing I would suggest for those.
Cool.
Yeah, walk sidewalk is 5 feet. but 4 feet is slightly more snowy. People want.
Okay. Okay, we have the room to do that. So I'm looking at that, so 4 feet, okay.
So
We got the
Joe,
book.
what are you also, you're basically saying that the Legion would be donating the materials and the work.
Absolutely.
Okay. So really what it comes to us as is accepting the gift and the coordination with the DPW to be able to use the town, to give permission for the town property.
Yep.
So that's really what the discussion is for the board, is accepting the gift and permission to make an installation in coordination with the DPW in support of the monument and any veterans and Memorial Day activities. I just want to make sure that that's clear. Because everything you had me below, I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. And to support you guys, I understand you're standing there. Sometimes the speakers can be 5 minutes and sometimes the speakers can be 45 minutes. So.
Yeah, we know that.
Or longer.
And Mr. Chair, I'm 100% in support of this as well. This is a great idea. And if we can do this, I'm more than happy to vote yes on a motion.
Oh,
for
I
this.
thought you were gonna volunteer for
I
it.
would-
Well, what I am gonna volunteer for though is if you're gonna put the papers around it, I've got two names to have put on those papers, so.
Absolutely perfect.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the cost would be on that.
Okay,
But we'll find that out, and I'll get back to,
that's okay,
let people know that when we get it done, papers are there, if they want their names on it.
good.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
in the spirit, full disclosure, I am a member of the American Legion Post 373. I am also a very active member on our honor detail.
Mhm.
And always proud to serve. Okay. If necessary, I'll refuse to vote.
I wouldn't think that you need to, it's, supporting the town or otherwise, you're not gaining, I mean, your feet are gaining a benefit, but overall, you're not, it's not like you're gaining anything personal from it. You're a community-based organization. So I wouldn't think. So, yes. Okay. So how would that work? Is, I mean, it sponsored in terms of the work, or they would use their own liability insurance in work?
Right now, it's just gonna be all the volunteers, we don't have an actual contractor doing it. But knowing what we wanna do is when we decide to dig it, we're gonna go down at least a foot or,
Oh, that was my
or
next.
2 feet. Put stone in first,
Jigsaw.
6 foot of stone. Right. I appreciate that. Yeah, right now, because of the weather, the way it's changing, we may not start until the springtime.
Right.
I'm very stressed out. Well, I'm thinking two different things.
True, and I understand that.
I would recommend spring trade.
Perfect. Yep. Okay. And I'll get with you on that then. Thank you.
Go ahead.
With the information that Mr. Souza just mentioned about the one that put his time there, I think we could check with our insurance company to see if we're covered. If not, I think the board can just put subject to the insurance certificate,
Okay.
or if we could get coverage to our own.
Yeah, I would, you know,
Insurance, 'cause
as
you
the
can check
event,
with the
like
insurance
if this is a morale event that the American Legion is holding, you know, asking us to use town property, they're making an installation and they're donating the materials. I think we could frame it as that. But for any motion tonight, subject to insurance certifications. Okay.
Question. So you're going to dig a few foot down, is it gonna be above ground too?
No, I'm gonna try and keep it as flush to the front as possible. So you probably won't even see the slab from the street.
That's standing
Because-
because a pedestal or anything.
The way, if you look at the ground right now, the ground slopes up. The front of that is gonna be to the front of that ground. And then the only way it's gonna be is backwards, and the back will be dug up.
Okay,
And that's where we're gonna put a lot of the pavers in.
I
Okay,
get it.
it's gonna be straight with the back straight, but the pavers will be on the backside to support the ground itself.
Yeah, the backside will be graded to the sidewalk. Front side of the pavement. Would be changed to into the bank.
Interesting. Appreciate it.
And our, Joe, you can speak on behalf of the Legion.
This will be on behalf of the Legion.
Honor Guard platform.
On a guide platform.
On our behalf.
Called the Fallonville Veterans Park. Is that correct?
I believe it's.
Memorial Park,
I just
Memorial,
want to make sure.
Memorial
Correct.
Park, Bob.
Mm,
Bob wouldn't know comment, I believe. I thought it was Memorial Park.
Not really a park. Uh-oh, I started some.
Oh, my God, we got the.
I'm gonna call it Fallonville Veterans Common.
What was the broken sign? What did the broken sign say that's?
Oh, I like that. Now we're, this is called, imagery intelligence. I don't see it.
There was a sign. You just- It was down at the tree lighting. That's how I know. Down at the tree lighting, and I thought it said Memorial Park.
All right, everybody. I move to accept the gift of labor and materials by the American Legion for the Honor Guard Platform Project in Baldwinville Veteran Common and subject to insurance certification.
Second,
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions for Joe? Or Bob?
thank you for your service. This is
Thank you.
fantastic.
I appreciate that.
For the project, thank you.
Really good. Thank you.
All right, on the motion to accept the gift of labor and materials by the American Legion for the Honor Guard Platform Project in Baldwinville Veterans Common and subject to insurance certification, how would you vote, Matt?
Yes.
Harry?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
You're gonna need that.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Sorry, I can't stay. I have to run. I have another meeting.
Look forward to seeing
you,
you.
Joe.
Look forward to seeing you on the platform.
It's fun being in demand, isn't it?
Good night.
Oh,
Nice job.
all right, I will stop sharing.
Love your math skills. Real good.
All right, we are moving on to item G, and that is action related to approving the fall town meeting warrant.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I make a motion to approve the fall town meeting warrant as presented.
Second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? We'll ask, have people done the math?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Appreciate Mr. Rivard, bringing it forward and
Absolutely.
we thought it was finalized and, there's just one change after speaking with, another department. Article 11 will be to see if the town will vote to amend Article 6 to the 2020 annual town meeting to one, correct map references by deleting map 1-4 and inserting map 1-4-1, and 2 by deleting 3.08 plus or minus and inserting its place 2.8 plus or minus, and 3 to add at the end of said article pending plan approval by the planning board. And that's the only changes.
Okay, so, and by deleting, you said 2.08.
Deleting 3.08 plus minus and putting in place 2.8 plus or minus,
2.8.
correct, plus or minus.
All right.
And 3 to add at the end of said article pending plan approval by the planning board, because parcel 407 will have to be split at the middle of the river.
Okay. Any other amendments, Adam, that you're aware of?
That is it outside of that last minute
Okay.
change.
I will accept that as a friendly.
Okay. And who was the second for that?
I'll second that.
Thank you very much. So we have town meeting warrant as amended. Table for discussion.
I just like how this is cleaned up before it was broken up to one page and then
Mhm.
another page. Much more cohesive now that it's all in one page.
I would say if you can take Article 17 as just throw that title to the next page. Okay, thank you. Got it.
That's on Article 9, the way you cleaned it up is great.
This is all for our consumption, you know, just if you get any kind of, not semantics, but like, not even grammar, but just structure.
Yeah.
We understand that we'll fix that.
The town council's already went through and reviewed it
Okay. Be amended or,
a few times.
Okay.
As they were progressing through the stages of the warrant,
right,
the draft warrant.
it's, and all the math should be $25, 5.
Those are all accounted for in our free cash.
Got it? Because sometimes we catch, we do an amendment.
Could there be anything we can, Mr. Chair? That could be resolved or within the motion. But outside of that, I think it's pretty. Solid to get to final production.
Any
The
other?
thing is, we went through the flag, the sign thing, the
Yep.
sign, and they made the corrections. But I'm wondering if that flag request approval or denial shall not be further delegated. If that's awkward, we should drop out of that.
Where are you?
So, what was it, Article 8, 240-18
I found it.
enforcement.
This was, so the language for this was back and forth with me and town council, so
Mhm.
all the language has been deemed legally sufficient. I don't want to have to.
Strike it.
Yeah.
All right.
Any further discussion? On Sure. Thank you. I appreciate
Okay.
that.
On social media.
That's a heck of a way to start.
I'm
The
sorry.
social media.
There was a posting
All right.
that stated that, and it was about the capital planning, the cruiser and where the money was coming from. I don't know if it's an accurate statement or not, so I am just asking the question.
Okay.
And I was trying to find the article sitting here and I can find that. Do you know?
I
is
do,
it-
I do. When
know
I
what
was
I'm
sitting,
talking about?
we knew the capital planning committee, so I was the rep at the time. Now Tim is the rep for capital planning. At the time, we knew that we were gonna have to defer that to town. So it was in front of capital. planning.
Oh, no, it's not whether it was in front of capital planning. It's that the article, the way it's written, is that the money, I think, comes. I'm not sure it's coming out of the right budget, is the bottom line. It's because the taxes related to, restaurant taxes.
So,
I'm asking a question.
I'm gonna ask, if it's okay, Mr. Chair? Yeah. I'm gonna ask the I'm gonna ask the town administrator to help me with this. Mr. Lamontagne, that meals tax, the 0.75% that is charged, when we get that money, where does that go to?
General-
Account wise, basically.
General revenues. Then at the end, all the excess general revenues would move to free cash.
Okay, so by that, if I'm reading that correctly, the money for the cruiser, okay, is coming from that tax money because again, it went into general revenues and then at the end of the fiscal year would have gone to free cash. So that money is coming, the 0.75% taxes are being used for the cruiser.
Thank
Does that make?
Yes.
Set up perfect.
I
Thank you.
second that. Thank you, Mike.
Just.
Yeah.
That.
Thanks.
It's okay.
Bill. Thank you.
I know.
I've been called worse.
All right.
Today.
Any further board? Did any, good point. Any further comment on the town warrant? Remember, this is going to go to pre-town meeting. So there'll be plenty of discussion from the advisory committee as well.
I just do have one other question. Sure. We're on Article 18, the fourth floor town buildings and grounds, while municipal caretaking, a $5,000 item.
Mhm.
This is already a town building. And now we're asking for more money to do the buildings and grounds and caretaking.
What it is, Tim, is we put in the fire fans.
Okay.
Electricity for about $700. So that is the month last time. We have the money and budget. So,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was there because when I first read this, it had a question, are we double dipping on this? I want to make sure we're not.
A curious question.
Thank you for that.
Is it on?
Is there, where would I find how much we earned, revenue we earned with the meals tax? How much it generated that money?
You could see all that in the year report that the county submitted. in the revenue. I believe we were at 102% of our revenues. That the top of my head,
Eat up.
or 23.
Anything else? Town meeting. warrant.
You go sign it.
Mhm.
After you vote for it.
You will, do you have the amendment page?
All of it.
All right, hearing nothing further on the motion to accept the fall town meeting warrant as amended. How do you vote, Matt?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Off to the races.
Yep.
Okay, last item on new business, Julie had asked for a discussion on adopting a code of conduct at our last meeting. What Adam assisted with, what is to, Adam, you got, was it Chickpeas code of conduct?
I looked at some other municipalities.
Okay.
And put together this Richard's request, a draft for the select board. I mean, it's really your code of conduct. I mean, however you want to draft it is up to the board. Some of these, depending on what you really want to have in here. Some of them go as far as listing your employment. I've seen or heard of some of those. That way, folks do not have the knowledge of where each member is employed. It's really up to the board where they want to put their own code of ethics, if you will.
I appreciated you at least doing some research to see, like, from what Julie was asking about. I think even before the end of the meeting, you were already saying, let's take a look at what we already have. And our select board operating procedures, as I believe it was pointed out, does have duties and responsibilities. And so when I went through and I looked at what you had given us, which appears in the packet, and I overlaid it with roles of the roles and responsibilities, but really, section 6, it says responsibilities of all board members. And then at, before it gets into the actual itemized, this is what you should be doing. It says they should follow a code of conduct that. So at that point, I felt we've got something. We may not need another document, but I think it is probably, as Julie was taking a look at, time to review it to see, is it updated with how we've been operating as a board, but not only, I mean, this board's been operating together for a while. You know, how do we want to update it? And is it updated for 2023? So going through that, there were so many things that were the same, like, treat each other with respect, that sort of thing. The thing that was absent to me was really the spirit of what you provided us in our packet. The last page is the select board code of conduct document shall be considered a definitive document related to ethical conduct by town of Templeton select board members. I affirm and read the understanding that the town of Templeton select board personal code of conduct. So it's, and then you sign it and date it as of like the recommended day of that we organize as a board. That's what's, I think, absent from how we view it. So if one of us wanted to call one another out on the carpet, let's say I was way out of line, I swore like one of the Phillipston select board members. That was a shout out. And you wanted to hold me to account. Now, it's a little bit different being the chair. If it was Terry that was calling out the town of the sheriff's.
Okay.
Nice. There'd be a method for the select board chair to perform their duties, which is to watch over the board in terms of our current one. What was missing I think, was that certification. You know, we swear an oath, raise our hand, and sign the book down at the clerk's office. I'd ask the board, I'll ask three questions. Is our current select board operating procedure sufficient? Should it be amended, especially with the items that are in the packet tonight? Or should we adopt a completely separate document based on, you know, instead of the clerk signing, we're trying to basically perform an oath to each other? And that's what I'd have to ask. Yep.
If I may. The first part of your question.
Yes.
Is our current policies sufficient? I would say no, because we're having the discussion.
Okay.
The second part of it, I like the draft we have in front of us. Have we bumped this against the code of conduct that's published for us on the Mass Municipal Association webpage?
Yes.
Because it is a very comprehensive code that they,
It
we're
it
all
is, and it's
supposed to be following.
longer, and I
Yes.
appreciated the fact that that Adam used a truncated version that was. a little-
Very good.
It was a skinny version of the amendment.
Yeah, because theirs is pretty robust.
Oh, yeah. Can't sneeze.
Nope.
Adam.
Mr.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just, when I reviewed this document, I agree with everyone so far that much of what I think we see here, we already have in our select board, our policies and procedures. I also agree with Tim in that if we're bringing this up, it probably should be looked at again, and just like anything else, we need to review our policies and procedures on a regular basis to ensure that they're correct with the times and that with the people that are working in the fields there now. I think that I know that in my mind, I don't think we need a separate document. I think that this document that has been presented to us this evening could very easily be incorporated as an amendment to our procedures document. Okay, and to include the sign off as the last page of our procedures document. And we can make that sign off be two things. Number one, that we've received and understand the entire procedures document, and that we agree to uphold the code of conduct as presented in the procedures document. So we can kill a couple of birds with one stone here in that respect as well. So.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with that 100%.
Uh-oh.
So every year we have to,
A stockade out front.
yeah, right.
Those are the kinds of.
Every year we have to review open
Okay.
meeting law. I'm thinking work with the MMA. Put out a product. Every year we have to review open meeting law. Every year we have to take a test on ethics online.
Yeah.
And we get a certificate. Why not ask MMA and be able to review mass law for select board in a class online, like, or in a test online or a program online, where you sit, and you go through it like with the meeting law and ethics. And then we get the certificate every year. I wanted to start a study group, but nobody wanted to study with it. So
Mr. Chairman, that was so to correct her, it is not every year, it is every 2 years. That's
But,
number one. Number two is, this is also part of a local select board profile, like my, Matt,
What I do. You almost coming back again?
like Matt was just referring to, it's already in our book.
Yeah.
So it's more of a local thing, you know, we're just trying to freshen up what we currently have in place, which Adam, I think, did a fantastic job. I appreciate your help with this. To just freshen it up so that we can just merge this in with what we currently have, because that's not overly outdated. It just needs a little more clarification and updating. That's why it came up.
I would completely take that on. I would work to try and take a look at what Adam has given us, the MMA best practices. And they've got at least 3 different documents in their discussion. You could even bring that up to MMA. They've got the January conference coming up.
Yeah.
You could actually bring that up to say, right, that's a subject that I would like to see taught. I don't, classroom training or otherwise, I
We're gonna
wouldn't be a webinar or otherwise, but January would be probably a good target for that if you wanted to, on behalf of the board, say, hey, on behalf of Templeton, I really would love to see, code of conduct covered again. I think they've done it in the past. I know I've seen it. done.
I think I did it,
Yeah.
did it the second year, maybe.
Yeah. But I
They
can,
had done it.
I can do a revision to the select board policies area where it does govern, and it says it right there. You know, it says code of conduct and it goes right through it. And then I can bring it back to you guys and I'll share it with Adam to make sure. that I put dotted, literally dotted lines across.
That's like, I think that would be a great way to go forward, because I really don't think we need another document. I think,
I don't
I think the
either.
important thing
I
is
agree
to
with that.
take what,
Cohesive and
yep, be cohesive, take what's been presented, which is very good. Let's roll it up into what we have, amend what we have, and then, like I said, if we want to have it, if we want to have a sign off on it, then we can make that a double sign off at the
I can
end.
like that.
Yep.
That you've received it, you know,
Yeah.
you're.
You have
You're
received this document, you understand it, and you agree to abide by the code of conduct. I think that's a great way to go.
5 pages. That's yeah. Oh, that's the.
MMA has a whole big presentation.
And then
Okay.
I do that.
I don't think we need a motion or anything of it, you know, consensus is I'm gonna work on it.
Thank you, Julie, for
Great, thank you.
thank you, Julie, for bringing this forward.
Oh, absolutely.
And thanks, Adam,
Needed to
for
be.
doctoring that.
Yeah, thank you, Adam.
Topic. So I'll definitely be using that. You don't have a word, do you? Thank you. All right, that's awesome. We are finished with new business at 7:57. We are moving into old business. First item, action or, it is action. Awesome. Action related to Scout Hall bid award.
On this one,
Some did a miracle happen.
no,
We tried.
Build it and they will come, buddy.
All right.
but there is some good news.
Okay.
I did speak with Diversified Construction. They're willing to hold their bid price.
Okay.
Oh, good.
So the board declare the other bidder essentially unresponsive because he can't meet the payment bond and move to the second bidder.
Okay.
And then I could work with Bob on getting that ARPA request finished up for the next meeting.
Okay.
I mean, in preparation, hopefully the next meeting, if not the one thereafter. So you would obviously, your vote would have to be subject to necessary funding.
Do you need us to declare that or is that already?
Yeah, well, technically, the board awarded it back in May. So the board would have to award it, declare Fischette Construction unresponsive, subject to necessary funding.
Right.
I move to declare bidder for Sookout Hall, Fischette Construction is unresponsive. And further to award Diversified Construction the bid for Scout Hall pending the appropriation of necessary funds.
Second,
Second,
And motion in a second. Any further
I would have
discussion?
read that motion.
I pulled that out of my head.
That's why I called you Mike.
Any further discussion?
Again, I think all worse.
Moving forward slower than we want to, but we'll move forward. Stuff happens. Okay, hearing nothing further on the aforesaid motion. How would you vote now?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Tim?
yes,
And I vote yes as well. Could you write that out?
Yes, absolutely.
Ollie and Jackie.
I
appreciate that.
get the paper up here for you.
All right, we're gonna move on to the last item of old business and the action related to the ARPA request for premium pay.
The board wanted me to put this together. You have it in front of you. We have side letters from all the town unions. And then you have the memorandum here from Mr. Terenzini when he was town administrator declaring the entire organization an essential business. I believe that's what the board requested of me, and now I leave it to the board to ultimately decide.
I very much appreciate you pulling that all together. it's not often that everybody agrees, so that was a very good point. I don't have the draft motion, or else I would make.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve $93,500 for all eligible town employees from the ARPA premium.
Second,
I have a motion in a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just one question. I love the professional firefighters of Templeton Local 5311 response. And have we considered their recommendations of how they might? Because they did deny, then they did, you know, they'll, if we decide to give it to them, they'll take it, but they don't want it. And they said they believe the town could better appropriate the money elsewhere. For example, the town could utilize the funds to increase ALS level service staffing at the department, or spend on conducting a study to build a modern centrally located fire station. So they were looking, they made suggestions. So are we giving them the stipend even though they don't want it? Or are we going to honor some of their suggestions? That was my question. It just seems like I would like to honor their suggestion.
Go ahead.
So, Terry, every person that's eligible will receive a form from our office, and they will either accept it or not accept, or waive accepting it.
No, I just started.
Every eligible employee, if they're
So
not
it's a
currently
private
working,
Decision, is that what you're saying?
each person will have their decision.
In
If
private?
the union declines it, that's up to the union. But the union is not contesting the amount.
The fire department will each get their own decision paperwork and they'll say yes or no based on that.
Correct, but my understanding is they're all denying it as of this moment.
So.
But also
would we
to your,
Consider their recommendation.
These
well,
recommendations.
I was gonna,
Go ahead, what?
the recommendation, so I did review this, and one of them's talking about ALS level staffing. That's an ongoing budget. So sustaining that is, we've already, since I've been here with this board, have increased that department. A lot more so than we have other departments. And the reason why we were able to do that is because we took the ambulance receipts funds and essentially we're working on making that sustainable on the ambulance side of the house. So we built them up. Are they at where they would like to be? No. Are we making positive momentum? I would say yes. The other question is about the converting the building there. I consider that more, you folks probably remember when Winchendon was looking at their building over there, they did a debt exclusion. Ultimately, where the town folks had a say on that process with their building or the design of the building. I think that's more of an appropriate measure for something to that effect. And I believe that was their main concern is really the ALS level staffing and the fire building. I could say that we're always looking at those areas of improvement, and I think we've been pretty fair with the fire department.
Is there anything
Yeah, fire and
we
ambulance.
could do with the ARPA money?
Could I cut in? We have done that. I know, but I wanted him to be, I don't want to cut off Adam if he doesn't fully answer. We've considered a lot. We've been through this process. We are on the road home for the final spending bill for the spending that we will sit here and go through. So we've gone through these things. Some of these things have been either they can be addressed, because you gotta recognize some of those things are so expensive. You would
Right.
take everything away. You would put all of it. Personnel is very difficult. The police had to go through a very regimented process. Exactly. So at this point, those are all good things, but when you put premium pay at $1,500 per person, which we're keeping it at that top level, it's not even breaching it's $93,000, not even breaching 100,000. We're keeping it at a low level, but addressing the fact that they have been essential workers worldwide. If they decide, there are people that decide, I know I'm essential, this is what I signed up for, I get that. But this has been a nationwide process. At this point, that's the direction that we have with those things.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other
Chair, if I may.
discussion?
If I may. Initially, when I saw this request, I had some reservations. The original ARPA final decision, which has been amended twice, was very explicit in language. The premium pay was meant for those people who were putting themselves in direct risk. I would contend that the fire department, EMS side of the house, wearing the Tyvek suits, the full respirators, et cetera, definitely met that requirement and the asset test. Upon further investigation and digging, there is a declaration through the state that was signed by Governor Baker, which all hinge back to the awarding the ARPA. The state has a far robust position on it. And all the checking I've done, actually, the state's requirement overrides the federal, which I found interesting. But this matches the letter of the law as it currently sits here in the Commonwealth.
Well said.
Any further discussion? Yes.
You're out of my periphery today, I guess. Sorry. Well, everyone's wearing these vests now. You all look. Oh, is that what? Okay, go ahead. When I originally spoke about this, and we discussed this, I had asked if you would go and take a look at some of the other area towns to see what they had done to see if this is consistent. Did you do that? And what did you find, if anything?
It's actually very interesting. There's some communities that did, didn't give anything.
Yeah.
Some that, like a city I know of, they gave out 1,000 to their police officers, for example. It's all over the board for the most part. It's really up to the town and how we want to, the select board ultimately has the final say on and how they want to, and then it's conversations I had with the chair, coming up with the amount, we kind of went back and forth. Ultimately, I think we came up with a pretty fair number.
Responsible.
It's not, it's like you already eloquently said, it's below 100 grand. And will all that be expended? I think all that will be expended because I know of a couple folks that are going to be turning it, that
Right.
are going to waive it. So we'll be able to, before the deadline, I think we'll be able to redistribute it the same way. Like, we're not going to expend the whole 46K for town council reviewing all these ARPA requests when they get approved by the board and it goes to Attorney Harrington for review. So we're going to be able to use, I don't think we're able to use all these funds that you approve. Same way, we're not going to use all the funds that we use for administrative costs for town council review on these ARPA.
We're setting the cap.
Yeah, I just remember asking for some due diligence. I just wanted to make sure it was done and it seems that it was. That was my concern. Thank you.
I was aware, even on the federal side, there are many different
Yep.
programs for that as well. So it was addressing that fact that some people that were not able to go with that. Could show up. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Further discussion. Hearing none on the motion to approve 93,500 for all eligible town employees for ARPA requests for premium pay. How would you vote, Matt?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. All right, ladies and gents, we are finished with all new and old business for this evening. Before we go into executive session, I would love to hear from my fellow board members, or board member comments. Let's start. Whoa, almost went through it again.
Oh,
What?
just replace that chair.
Chair in the whole.
Don't hurt
I have an
yourself.
ARPA
Let's run
request.
between You and the wall now.
I've
Oh
got,
my God.
I've got an ARPA request for some chairs.
Oh my God.
Matt, would you start us off, please?
That's a chair.
Just a couple of brief things this evening. First of all, a big thank you to everyone who worked the polls at Narragansett Regional High School yesterday during the day. I went and voted yesterday morning. I was voter number 1 in my precinct.
Really?
I was voter number 1. But thank you to everyone who worked the polls yesterday. It's a great group of volunteers that makes sure that we can participate in our democratic process every time it comes around. And I would remind everyone that we're not done, that we have a general election coming up on the first Tuesday following the first Monday in November. So please keep that in mind. We got to go back out and do this again for the state senate to replace Senator Goby's chair. The other thing that I would like to remind everyone is that as we all know, we've passed the fall solstice. I'm sorry, the fall equinox, I should say. The days are getting shorter, the night is getting longer, and it's just something that I want to make sure that we remind everyone that let's just be safe at night. It's obviously going to be night longer, especially our youth. Let's be safe where we're going. Let's be safe in what we're doing, and let's have hopefully a very enjoyable and happy holiday season forthcoming. Let me be safe doing so. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Absolutely.
I think I'll pass.
Julie,
I'll pass tonight. Thank you.
I'll be brief. Mr. Chair, I heard you a number of times today make the comment with some of these reports. I can help, which is awesome. And it was a segue. There was a Netflix miniseries called New Amsterdam. It's based on a book, 12 Patients at Bellevue Hospital. The real quick short story. It's a story about their new medical director went into a public, non-supported hospital and they were struggling financially. Throughout the trials and tribulations of the ongoing series, and it's not complete yet, there's like 89 installments to watch through. His buzzword is, how can I help? Everything he does, how can I help? It's a true epitome of the term servant leadership, to the point where one of his comments when he was introducing himself to the staff, hi, I'm Max Goodwin, I'm the medical director. I'm here to challenge you to tell me, what can I do to help you? Take whatever's here. If it's broken, let's tear it apart. Let's try to fix it. Let's make it happen, make decisions. If we get in trouble, that's okay. We can get past it. But it was a very interesting overall thing, and it's you nailed it. So that was a segue for me, and I just made the note on it.
What's the name of it?
New Amsterdam.
Mr. Chairman, I actually watched that series. It's amazing. I would highly recommend it.
Netflix.
It is.
Folks, I don't have anything this evening from the town administrator's office.
I heard that she's got that from 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Posted on the website.
Did she just leave? Yeah, she was here for the whole thing too.
Just left.
5 to 7, Tuesday, October 31st. All right. All right, we are good. Folks, we do have an executive session this evening. So TCTV, basically this is how we're going to close out the meeting. TCTV is going to stop their broadcast. We will make a vote to go into executive session. We will come out of executive session only to close the meeting. So you won't see that on TCTV, but we've already prior coordinated that. So having said that, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session with no possible action per MGL Chapter 30A, subsection 21A2, negotiations, non-union personnel, TA.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion in a second.
Mr. Chair, can I add to your motion that we will, at the termination of the executive session, we will come back to the open session just to dismiss.
Further amended.
Second.
Okay. And any further discussion? Hearing none on the motion to go to executive session. How do you vote, Matt?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.